If you're waiting for interest rates to come down before buying a home, this episode could save you more money than that rate ever will. Welcome back to the Loan Caddy podcast. This is episode number 7. I'm William Ware, and if you're new here, this show is about helping you make smart lending decisions without the confusion, pressure, or extra hype. You can think of me like your caddy. I don't swing the club for you, but I do help you pick the right one so that you don't blow the shot. So far on this podcast, we've talked about pre-approvals, credit prep, loan types, closing costs, and why strong pre-approvals actually win homes. However, all of that is just the preparation. None of it matters if you get stuck standing on the first tee waiting for perfect conditions. And right now, the thing that's freezing most buyers is interest rates. So today, we're going to separate rate watch from rate reality. Most amateur golfers stand over the ball thinking about everything that could go wrong. The wind, the water, and the out of bounds. However, the pros don't do that. They pick a target, they pick a club, and then they take the swing. Buying a home works the exact same way. So let's talk about the 3 truths that buyers don't hear enough. Truth number 1 is that rates move faster than people can react to them. By the time a rate drop hits the news, it's already priced in. Buyers rush in, demand spikes, and competition heats up. Then you suddenly find yourself not just buying a house. You're bidding against 10 other buyers who are also waiting. Watching rates without a plan is like watching the wind without picking a club. Truth number 2 is that prices don't usually fall just because interest rates do. Sellers don't just wake up one morning and say, well, rates dropped, I guess I'll take less money for my house. What actually happens is this. Lower rates bring more buyers. More buyers protect prices, and sometimes they even push prices higher. So waiting for a lower rate can mean paying more for the same exact house. That's not strategy, that's hope. And truth number 3 is that monthly payment obsession hides the real costs. Buyers fixate on the rate because it feels safe, but waiting costs you money in other ways. You pay rent longer, you miss out on precious appreciation, and you lose leverage. And those costs don't show up in the rate quote, they show up over long periods of time. Here's also something that most people forget. Buying a home does not lock you in forever. Rates go up and then they come back down. Refinancing is a tool, not necessarily a gamble. Because if rates improve after you've purchased a home and the numbers make sense, you can refinance to bring that rate down. But you can't refinance a house if you never bought it in the first place. So buying position matters a lot more than buying perfect. Let me give you 2 examples of this in real life. Buyer number 1 waited. They waited 12 months for interest rates to get better. And then when they finally bought, the rate was only slightly lower. However, the price was higher, competition was heavier, and they had a lot less negotiating power. However, buyer number 2 bought earlier. Their rate was a little bit higher at first, but the price was lower and they had leverage. Then, when rates improved, they refinanced their home. It's the same market, but just using a different strategy. Now, listen closely because this matters. Waiting can be the right move if your income isn't stable, if your credit is actively improving, if your cash reserves are thin, or if your life timing just isn't right. Good strategy is not aggressive. A good strategy is intentional. This is not about rushing, it's about clarity. And here's the hardest part of buying. Fear likes to dress up as logic. Headlines don't know your finances, social media doesn't know your goals, and nobody on TV is paying your mortgage. Pros don't wait for perfect weather, they play the conditions in front of them. And that's how good decisions get made. So here's the takeaway. Rules matter, but strategy matters more. If you're trying to decide whether now is the right time to move for you, that's not a rate question. That's a planning question. And that's exactly what I help people walk through. No pressure, no sales pitch, just a clear plan tailored to your goals. Thanks for spending a few minutes with me today. This is the Loan Caddy podcast, and I'll see you on the next hole.